All right, welcome to News You Can Use with Hillary Gooden. I'm the co-host, and I want to just say, come on in. As you do come in, make sure that you comment, like, and share, and tag a friend. Let them know we're going to be talking tonight about fear and what you can do about it. It's going to be a great and awesome uh, I'm going to say podcast, but it's going to be a great show tonight. And so I'm just the co-host. And so our topic tonight is, could you bring that back for me? Because I wanted them to know what this topic is, because this is really a good one. Why fear is a good thing. That's what we're going to be talking about. So before I bring out the next one, and you all know who she is our awesome, phenomenal host, the host of News You Can Use, Miss Dr. Lotus. Dr. Lotus, I love to have you out here tonight, not just me. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Gonna be a good one.
Money that foe. How you doing tonight? Yeah.
I'm doing awesome and amazing.
Awesome and amazing.
You?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. If I was doing any better, it would be 4 of me telling 4 of y'all, because we got 4 people in the studio tonight. That's right.
Yeah.
4 of y'all, how fantastic I'm feeling. So look, Dr. Money that foe, you're looking spectacular. And I know our guests are also looking spectacular. See, don't y'all like how she did that? She said, So, Dr. Money that foe, tonight we got a really powerful topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about, because people are afraid to even admit that they're in fear. But tonight we got Dr. Money that foe, we got Dr. Ignite and Take Flight, and we got Dr. Dynamite, Make Stuff Up, Mary Jo in the back, So let me see if I could get her to come on out. Oh, Dr. Make Stuff Up!
How are you?
What's going on, Dr. Make Stuff Up, Mary Jo? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am busy creating all sorts of stuff.
Creating all sorts of stuff. It's great to see you. I'm super duper happy that you're here tonight. I mean, man, we got an amazing topic. So, folks, come on in, and like, share, and you may not can start watch parties, but go next door and bang on somebody door and say, "Hey, are you watching?"
It's time.
That's right. It's that time. So, listen, as you come in, let us know where you're coming in from. Dr. Make Stuff Up. Let us know where you're coming from. Let the audience know who you are, what you do, and where you coming from. And then Dr. Money that foe gonna let everybody know where she's coming from.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Mary Jo Rathgeb, and I am coming in to you live from Vermont. And it's my pleasure and honor to be here tonight with you. I have a dear friend of mine that we're going to be bringing on very shortly. So if you can just like, share, gather your friends. It's Monday night. What's to fear about a Monday? That's what I'd like to say.
I love it. So I guess I'll go next, since Dr. Money that's foe. Well, no, that's right. You were supposed to go. So Dr. Money that's foe, you gonna let them know?
Well, you know what? I'm coming in from Chicagoland. I don't quite live in the city, but everything I do is in the city. But I'm right outside of Chicago in a little town called Harvey. And I am your Vibrant Life coach, your lymphologist. I'm also author, speaker, and pastor. I empower busy women leaders with strategies to reduce stress, anxiety, and inflammation by activating and maintaining a healthy lymphatic system in order to increase energy, clarity of mind, to have better health, better sleep, boost immunity and vitality. Why? Because I absolutely believe that you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life. That's who I am, who I serve. It's what I do. And so I'm not sure what happened to our host. Our host she is the one with the mostest. And so we have a special guest on tonight. Maybe she went back there looking for her.
You know what happens when you touch a button? I touched the button and all of a sudden I ain't see nobody. I was in the dark. I was like, who turned the lights off? I felt like Urkel, y'all.
All righty. I thought you were looking for our guests.
You know, I might have been. I don't know. Maybe that's why the lights went off. But of course, we got Chicago in the house. And of course, we got Vermont in the house. And we're super duper happy to have everybody here tonight, all the way from Vermont. And of course, I'm from Washington, D.C. Woo woo. And so now you know where we coming in from. Now we're going to tell you where we're getting ready to go to. We're getting ready to go to someone that's going to help us talk about fear. But while we're getting ready, we're going to give you guys a couple of quick seconds to go ahead, like, and share this broadcast and get your notepads and pens. Because guess what?
That's right.
When Dr. Beraki comes in, she's going to help us win. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. And then I think Mary Jo might put somebody in the hot seat, if you know what I mean. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. It is that time with Dr. Money That Folds, the lymphologist, the hostess with the mostest, Hillary Gooden, Dr. Lotus Rashay, and Dr. Make Stuff Up, Mary Jo Rathgeb are here tonight with news you can use. We've got her in the house, Dr. Nailah Beraki. She's with us. So, like, share, and make sure you tell somebody that you care about, because caring is sharing. Let's go, y'all. Come in and give Dr. Beraki some love. Put an L in the comment block below. And let's go as we start the show. Hey, come on, y'all. Let's go. All right, now. All right.
Here we are.
So, Dr. Make Stuff Up. I heard you come up.
I was making some stuff up.
Yeah. Who we bringing? Who we bringing out?
I'm gonna conjure up our guest. How's that? So who are we bringing in? We are bringing in Dr. Nailah Beraki, and Nailah is a holistic professional healing arts. She's a counselor and a Reiki master, and she empowers other people in really transformational ways. She has the best laugh you're ever going to hear from anybody, and she can light up a room. And her goal is really to help make a difference in other people's lives. And she did that by, should I give the title of the book, or should we just let her talk about it?
You doing the announcement? What you think, Hill? She doing the announcement. What you think, Hill?
Should we keep people in suspense?
You talking about Doctor? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I am. I absolutely am.
I can't wait to see her.
Okay, so then let's bring her on. I'm going to conjure her up.
Hey,
welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm having such a good time. I don't even know how I could even talk about fear. But there it is. Here, have a great time.
Oh gosh. It's so great to have you here. And so we're super duper delighted that you're here with us, because, you know, Doc, you share with us a tough topic, and it's not easy. And I know we've talked about fear, Dr. Make Stuff Up and I, and Dr. Money That Fold. So That's not an easy topic. What do you think, Hillary? I mean, she here, so go ahead and get her in the hot seat first, because you could ask her about that, because I had heard that Dr. Make Stuff Up was gonna get her in the hot seat, but then I heard that you might get her in the hot seat yet. I ain't getting in between that, y'all.
But I did my job by plugging that hot seat in. When she told me she had all her notes ready, I'm like, okay, we're going to turn it up just a little bit.
I'm going to get you on a flight to Chicago coming up here.
So we about to put her in the hot seat, and we going right in. So folks, if y'all ready for Dr. Hillary Gooden to put Dr. Nailah Beraki in the hot seat, go ahead and put a number 2 in the comment block. Go ahead and put a number 2 in the comment block, because it's about to go down.
Set me on fire
tonight. So, oh my God, somebody already put their 2 in there. Angie, like 2, put her in the hot seat. Thank you, Angie, from Washington, D.C. We appreciate you. So we're going right in.
It's making me sweat.
So you done got too close.
So I'm gonna just say this, folks, for y'all just coming in, y'all not sure what the topic is tonight. Welcome to the show. First and foremost, share, and follow us, and
tag somebody.
We are and tag somebody. That's right. And if you checking us out on YouTube, make sure you ring that bell. And give a comment in YouTube. We love to hear from you. So why fear is a good thing. This is what we're talking about tonight with our phenomenal guest, Dr. Nailah. Now I'm
I love it. Oh, go ahead on.
Beraki, okay? So Dr. Make Stuff Up. I've been hanging with Dr. Make Stuff Up. So I'm just making stuff up. So
I love the sound.
Tonight we're gonna get right into it. And Dr. Money That Fold said she ready to put you in the hot seat. So Dr. Money That Fold, make it happen.
I just want to say this for all of you that know Dr. Beraki as Dr. Beraki. Tonight she is known as Dr. Laugh-A-Lot. And so don't be making fun, but you can see we're laughing a lot. She is Dr. Laugh-A-Lot tonight.
Oh God.
So, Dr. Laugh-A-Lot, what is fear as you see it?
You mean, so the name of my book is Fear is a Good Thing,
Right.
Okay.
It's because we've been marketed to fear as one thing, scary, fight, flight, leave. No, or people tell me, well, I would do this, but as soon as I'm not afraid anymore, fear is a part of us, but it's not one-sided. Nothing is. So I coined this good fear because we have the bad fear. We have that fear that don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of fat-free food. Eat fat, eat slim, eat keto, eat this. Be afraid of fat people. Be afraid of skinny people. Be afraid. We're confused. It's rampant and it's isolating. And we've seen that. And this pandemic actually has highlighted, the fear. But it has also helped people go inside themselves and find out what good fear really is. So good fear is instinct, it's intuition, and it's courage. Sometimes we'll say, my gut told me to do this and it saved me. Or we say, something told me. But what told you? It was what I term good fear, because we don't look at that. What we look at is, I'm afraid. I'm so afraid, girl, I'm scared to death. And we'll sing that song, people. We'll talk about it all the time. But you could be scared or frightened or something. But fear actually is imminent danger. And most of the time, people are not in imminent danger. It's the stories that are going on inside their head. And when you practice that bad fear, which the National Alliance Mental Health says that most anxiety and depression is rooted in fear. So that means that fear has relatives. It's got cousins, honey. So it's procrastination is a relative of fear. It's like you all are coaches, as well. It's like I'm gonna make that call, but you don't. You procrastinate. You know what? I'm gonna do the laundry. I need to do the laundry.
Yep.
No, I need to make some biscuits. You know, but
I made biscuits last week, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. Because that's what I did when I was supposed to be taking care of the business. But I didn't want to take care of the business. So I redirected myself. And these are things procrastination does. But it's guided by fear. So you have depression, cousin of fear. You have the sometimes you can have depression from so many different things, chemical imbalance, hormones, a lot of things. But the misguided thoughts of fear affects you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So the cost of bad fear is, it's a lot. I know we're going to get into it, but it can kill you because stress can kill you. And stress is just the other side of people not saying, oh, I'm afraid or I'm fearful. They'll say, I'm so stressed.
Yes.
Like a necklace. I'm so stressed. Yeah. But saying that and aligning with people who are also fearful and having the fear club does not help you to meet fear where you need to, because inside of fear is the blessing. This is where the lessons are.
Exactly.
Fear is sort of like pain. You ever have a little ache and the pain is trying to tell you something and you're saying, oh, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then it gets bigger and bigger. Fear is the same way. It can start off with something that you're telling yourself that's not true. And you begin to practice that as a truth. Then you make it a truth. Then you live it as a truth. And then when you find out it's not true, some people are willing to confront that and find out where it came from. And some people are resistant because, what would I do without my fear? Some people like to hold on to it. Right? So fear, I'm here to tell you, fear is a good thing. Fear will have you not walk out in the street. Fear will have you to listen. Fear will have you to take better care of your health. Fear will have you leaving that job that's killing you, that you hate.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Has fear ever had any of y'all come home before that street light went out?
Oh, now see, now that's in my book. That's fear going through the ages. Now, the bigger fear back then with that street light, that was the parents.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was the parents. Babies coming into the world. They're afraid of if they're startled, that's a fear. They're very simple. They're startled or they're hungry. In my case, I probably was hungry. I was the hungriest one. I weighed 10 pounds. but as we grow, we want to please our parents, please our family. We begin to invest in the belief systems of other people, friends, neighbors, whatever. It was so bad growing up. You even would blame it on the devil. The devil made me do it. Come on. There's a war going on, a spiritual war going on all the time, but you don't have to play with it. But it's a feeling too. Bad fear does not feel good. But when you are in the flow of life and you're listening to that small voice, that intuition, that God voice, or whatever name people I call it God, that voice is soft and it's almost like you're doing stuff and you didn't realize, and you're like, oh wow, I'm so glad I did that. I hadn't even thought of that. You were being divinely guided, and good fear helps that flow. You could be in the right place at the right time. Because for a lot of us, we have faced a lot of our fears. We have overcome a lot of our fears by meeting them where they are.
Wow.
I could talk about good fear all day long.
Wow. Wow. Her booty ain't burning yet.
No, it ain't burning yet.
It ain't burning yet.
Little bit.
See, now Dr. Laugh-A-Lot just jumped out and said, y'all ain't got nothing on me, and just trying to show us how bad she is. But we just turn it up a little bit more when the next one's coming. That's all. That was all really good, and I agree with you on certain points. It's I was thinking about as you were going how in the Bible it talks about having good courage. You know, and I tell people sometimes you have bad courage. If he's saying be of good courage, that must mean that there's bad courage.
Right.
We were talking about fear is a cousin to, you know, courage. They kind of run together.
Right.
And when you have bad courage, you got bad fear too.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
You got bad courage, meaning you got courage to do wrong things.
Right. So I would note that.
You
Right. I
disrespect
agree.
fear.
I would note that as fearlessness. I would note that as fearlessness. Now, fearlessness has a place. But for people who are making bad decisions and living off impulse, you know, they could be fearless. You know, they just fearless and they don't believe anything bad can happen to them. So they make a decision based from their ego and how they feel in the moment. And that can cost you everything.
So that's a bad fearlessness. You know, I look at it like you being disrespectful with the fear period. With bad
yeah,
courage.
well, I would call that's that bad, yeah, that's that fearlessness.
Yeah. So
that's a special kind of fear there.
So
yeah, because
I love that, Hillary. We disrespect fear. I never heard that said before. How about you, Mary Jo? You ever heard that said before? We disrespect.
I never heard it either. It sounded good coming out of my mouth.
Yeah,
you've been hanging with Dr. Make stuff up.
Come out of the blessed mouth. Yeah, but you know what? That is good fear because because if the good fear is to be respected because that's that flow, that's that intuition, and all that comes from its source. But it's built in. So why would we not want to use the good fear? We know what the bad fear does. Yeah. That's why those those beautiful commercials that come on. You know, they play the hypnotic music while they tell you what's going to happen. You know, like you might walk in your sleep, have thoughts of suicide because you're living that bad fear, and you're not even looking at the good fear. Now, good fear and bad fear, like everything else in life, they arrive together. It's like problems and solutions. Most people, if they're looking at the problems, they'll never look at the solution. They'll be they'll be talking about it, not talking about how to solve it, just the problem. But they arrive together. Every problem has a solution. Everything runs.
Because I was so shy. And that was based on fear. At the base of shyness is fear, some fear of something. And stuff that I should say when I'm, some kind of fear. It's not like being an introvert or extrovert. Being shy is some kind of fear. That's what and so I used to not handle stresses during the day. Like when I was in school, if somebody did me wrong or whatever, I was so shy. I wouldn't speak up or get in somebody's face. That's just not what I would do. But when I would go to bed that night, my mother say, "Do you know what happened to you at school yesterday? Because you were just fighting in your dream and fussing, and I'm taking it out in my dream now."
Beating the pillow up,
totally disrespecting fear, fighting your.
You know, somehow it was still being dealt with, but in my subconsciousness, you know, not in this realm, you know, dealing with things like you were saying head on.
Yeah, it was a fear.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fear. I tell people when I was younger, I was shy, but all they do was laugh at me. So I just kind of like, I got to look for a different word.
Yeah, I smiled a lot. Oh my God, I smiled a lot. Only a few people knew just how talkative I was.
And that's what's going on with a lot of people. That's what's going on with a lot of people. They're smiling and dying at the same time. Yeah.
True.
Because they're really not happy inside. So I wanted to kick the ball over for a minute to Dr. Make Stuff Up because I wanted to ask, because you're a coach. You're a success coach. So how do you train people to be successful when it comes to stopping themselves from preventing fear? Because I mean, we talking about this, and she's Dr. Make Stuff Up taking notes. So you're gonna read some of them notes to us.
You don't get out of this like that.
Well, yeah, the notes that I was taking was the definitions that Nailah was having for the good fear, and I think that what's super interesting about this is that it's where you focus and also what you name things, because when I'm coaching people through fear, like the normal way that you usually think of like getting through fear or getting is to get rid of it, to slay the dragon, to like kill it, beat it up, hate on it, and just make sure that you hate on it enough that you get rid of it. And the approach, it actually doesn't work. And so so instead it's more about making friends with fear and becoming a buddy with it. And like you said, someone who was Hillary who said, stop disrespecting fear, because fear is a survival need. And if you were fearless, you would walk off the cliff. And, you know what I mean? You wouldn't like heed any warning signals or anything. And what's also super interesting from like a human design perspective is that fear lives in the three what they call awareness centers. Yes. So when Nailah was talking about how fear is an awareness, it's actually born out in human design as well. And that there's the survival fears of the spleen, and there's the anxieties of the emotional solar plexus, and then there's also the anxiety in the mental, in the head. And so it's interesting how there's a complex of ways that fear shows up in all sorts of different modalities of fear. But so long way of saying, I don't try to get people to, stop that feeling fear, just make friends with it. And so it's possibly another way of saying what Nailah is saying, which is that fear can be.
You can meet fear. You can ask fear what it is that it wants to teach you, because it's there for a reason. It's just like, as I would use the example of pain, it's there for a reason, and paying attention to it. We live these fears and things, but is it real? Is someone actually there threatening your life? Are you actually in danger in that moment? If not, then it's going on between your ears, but you might be scared. You might be frightened, all temporary, but you still need to ask that question. I tell people, sit down and have a cup of tea with your fear and ask it what it wants to teach you today, what it wants to learn, because I've gotten on stage and I even had to say, okay, fear, we're here on stage now. I got to stop stuttering and feeling nervous. What are we doing? Well, let's go with it. I can't get off this. I can't run away from it. But one of the things Dr. Hill, she said that I love, because you're a lymphologist, is that it does live in the body, and the lymphatic system with fear, it backs up that energy. Yes. And when I was working as a massage therapist, we used to do a lot of lymphatic, massage. And as we moved the lymph, had people to breathe, they actually felt better, almost 100% better. They didn't even know it's a very slow type of massage. I know you have a whole spectrum of stuff for the quality. I just know through different things that move the body, because that's my whole body of work. Is my body as a holistic practitioner is to find out, how you're living in this body, what you're eating, I mean, when I say what you're eating, are you eating your emotions? Are you eating loss? Are you eating your depression? Are you eating the fear instead of addressing the fear? So it lives in the body.
Yeah. And how about this? Is your fear eating you?
Oh,
is your fear eating you?
I got a chapter for that. I got that. Thank you.
Yeah. And
I love
fear.
That.
Yeah, that fear that's stressing you is causing that cortisol to constantly being released. And that's going to make you SICK, literally, in your physical body.
Okay.
You go to the doctor and they say, your test came back fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It must be all in your head. Then now what you gonna do?
Get a prescription.
You gotta deal with that fear.
you gotta deal with that. You got to deal with that. And here's what I tell people too. you got to deal with life, or life's going to deal with you.
That's right.
So if you're not preparing yourself to deal with the one life that God has given you, devoid of what anybody else is saying, it's going to deal with you in such a way that may not be favorable to you. Because and this is pervasive globally. A lot of people, they get married because of fear. What is my mom and dad gonna think? Oh, I have to marry this person because they chose it. Well, I'm staying on my job because of fear. What am I gonna do if I leave this job, even though I'm miserable? And even patients come and clients come to us because sometimes they don't want to make a decision for things in their life because they're afraid that if they make a decision, it may be the wrong decision. But my question always is, what if it's the right decision and you don't make it?
Just tell me what to do.
Exactly.
So if it don't work out,
we can't take that responsibility for other people.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah, just tell me what to do. So if it don't work out, it's your fault. I can blame it on somebody and not take
and we cannot take that responsibility. So if we're on the path,
yes.
Suppose you couldn't make a wrong decision. If you, because none of the paths are straight in life. So if you went this way and it didn't work, that just means that you learned that didn't work. You're still on the path.
Exactly.
So you can't, what if
you
you
might
believe
end up on that side.
Get it wrong?
Yes.
What would that do for fear?
You know,
can I ask the audience a question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I ask the audience? I would like them to write down their 3 main fears. And I like for them to think of a time when they chose not to face that fear. What was the results? Hello?
Yeah, we still here.
Oh, I don't see anybody.
Because you talking to the audience. And you got the question that you have to ask them right up front. So you want to share that with them again?
Yeah, I asked them to write down their 3 main fears. You know, stuff that keeps you up at night. And when was the time that you did not face these fears, and what were your results?
Awesome. I love it. I love it because this really makes people, and you and I talked about this before. This makes people do critical thinking. A lot of times we don't get to the core of our fear because we don't want to think. Dr. Hillary, Dr. Make Stuff Up, we talked about this before. A lot of times people don't want to read. And when I mean read, they don't want to read their own book. Right?
Exactly.
We talk about don't judge a book by the cover. We are this book, but we don't want to read this book because a lot of us don't like who the person is in the mirror. What if I look at the person in the mirror and I don't like it? Well, you could flip the mirror, but you got to look in the mirror and face the you that you are and the you that you're becoming. That's the only way you're going to become the real you that you want to be.
Yeah. And you can ask the mirror, what is it about this that I'm looking at that I don't like? And how can I change it? Not, oh my God, this is how I am. No one should see me. And use that as an excuse to hide.
Exactly.
That's so great.
Yeah, because, you know, when you realize, I tell people, listen, when you criticize yourself and you talk that bad, you know, negative talk, all of that stuff that's not working for you, you're committing suicide. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Every time you do it.
It grows.
Every time you do it, just a little bit. And the problem is it digs in deeper and harder and makes it harder for you to release it. But what I also found out is that it's your body. It's your body trying to help you. It's your mind thinking it's helping you.
The body is so
you have the ability, the power to let your mind know, you know what, that used to work for me when I was 10. But I'm a grown woman now, and I don't need those to think like that anymore. I don't even believe that anymore, but it seems like I can't help it.
Yep. You know, Dr. Hillary, when you said that, you know what you reminded me of?
No.
getting the help, real help. You know,
Help that is
that's your
real
body
help.
telling you, get the help that is real help by facing your fears, because it will cause a release in you both, well, in all these ways, spiritually, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
And I think Dr. Beraki actually alluded to that earlier. It sets us free when we deal with this fear. And that's why this respecting of fear, when we don't respect fear, it has an adverse effect on us. You know what, Dr. Beraki, you done came in here and you done something to the mic. That's all I'm gonna say. She done done something to the mic.
Fear is powerful because of the relatives. So, Dr. Hillary, you're talking about fears, first cousin, sabotage.
Yeah.
You know, sabotage is part of what, you know, what you all are saying, that you set yourself up in your head. You're not 10 anymore, but you've grown, but you want to believe it because you don't want to let it go, because maybe your favorite auntie told you that, but that was at her time. You know, we take it all in and then we pull it up as though it's real, and it's not even going on anymore. So we use sabotage so that something cannot happen that could happen if we made a different decision. We're on the fence. Fear.
Wow.
But good fear says, trust me. Trust me. Yep. Don't you feel it? You know, because a lot of us aren't feeling our bodies. We're in our head because we're bombarded. Social media, the news, you know, things happening everywhere. There's no way you can turn where there's something isn't being bombarded. And that fear is just, you know, rampant. We have to go in. We have to go in. I love in the Bible, they say fear not 700 times.
Yes.
But they're not saying be fearless, that don't fear, because, you know, like Dr. Hillary was saying before, that courage, that good fear, and that strength. Yeah. All of that is of the good fear family that I coined it, because it just seemed like we got to just look at it. It's multiple, it's diverse. It's not one thing bad. It's not.
Yes.
So
what do you think?
So I'm sorry. I would like to share something that you said. You said, God, dog, you got me. Woo. But you said fear's first cousin is sabotage. Sabotage. Learn to pronounce it, y'all. Sabotage. Sabotage. Stop sabotaging yourself. And you know, I like to go right to the dictionary. This is where we deliberately destroy, damage, or obstruct something. Especially, this says political or military advantage. But guess what? Our army on the inside has to show up and fight the battle that we get locked into because of fear.
That's right.
Woo!
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
I heard somebody say, what's the narrative what's the lie? That's it. What's the lie that you've been telling yourself?
Wow.
You know, what's the lie that you've been living by? And I lived, you know, when I saw it, I was like, man, I lived that lie of shyness, because I wasn't shy. As far as like, I had a lot to say, but I was afraid. What will they, who are they anyway? What will they say? What will they think? What if it don't come out right? And then they laugh at me. Now, you know, like right now, people laugh at me all the time. Okay. Or they laugh, so what? But I muted myself. And if you don't mute yourself, you're dumbing down yourself. You're not living your fullest. You're pulling back, and you're not allowing yourself to be and to become all that God created you to be. He said, I didn't give you a spirit of fear. If you got it, I did not give you a spirit of fear. I gave you a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind.
Gave us fear as not as a spirit of fear, but as a guide to warn us of impending danger. But we have misused it because we have, you know, we got to fire our inner critic, because you got to fire your inner critic, because it's not telling you the truth. Because it's just in our ear. It's just like, you know, you like you say, you were shy. You know, I was shy, but people laugh at me when I tell them, yeah, I was shy. They say, you? And I'm like, yeah. You know, I grew up in a house, you know, household full of boys, and I always had something to say, but it just seemed like it's being talked over. So I decided as a child's mind, that I wasn't going to say a whole lot because they weren't listening. But one thing I always loved to laugh, and I always loved being, outdoors. So that was, something that I can do, right? In my, that was my trade-off, but I didn't want to lose my voice. I just didn't want to say anything unless you really, really asked me or you wanted to hear it.
Exactly.
What was key out of what you just?
No, she was always talking.
What was key out of what you just said was having a child from your child mind.
Yes.
Yes.
See, that's the issue in our child mind. If we don't correct it or get through it or get over it, become aware of it, it carries through into our adult life. And we just figure we always been this way. But somewhere back there, something happened. And your child mind developed this mechanism to help you.
Yes.
Yes.
But now you're a grown woman with kids and grandkids. You don't need that 12-year-old help.
Yep.
You need, so what did you have? You got to retrain your brain and your mind. And your mind is not going to necessarily believe you at first because it's been helping you like this for a long time.
Right. And
that's when you need coaches and people that can help you make it through, help you to be to support you and give you that accountability.
Yes.
Because if you keep it through, you keep it up, your mind will say it'll click and say, oh, okay, she really mean this. She don't need that kind of help. Okay, we got you now. And it'll start work with you in the new thoughts,
Yes.
Right. And and that's true. And that's why, as much as people think people are afraid of failure, they're afraid of success, because a lot of times they quit just before they get the dream, before they get the nugget. Because everything that we want is on the other side of fear.
That's true.
When we go there, we like thought, I was afraid of that. But like you said, that child's mind, it was a child's decision that protected them. But when we get older, we don't think about the decisions we made as a child. We act subconsciously and we start doing stuff. Some people even say, why you always act like that? Why you always react like that? That's how I am. They don't go in there and ask the question. They be proclaiming this is it. But it's a page. You can turn that page.
Yes.
How many pages? And every day I got pages I'm turning. I thought, what? The subconscious mind will win until we acknowledge it.
That's true. I concur. I concur. Well,
so,
I gotta tell you,
we only did one question.
What?
We only did one question tonight. Folks, we got 6 questions. We only did one.
We may have answered some of them.
I know. Man, this was a one question show tonight. What?
Oh my God. Because see, here's the thing that I believe. It's so powerful. Because again, this is something that people just do not want to talk about. This is something that people over and over and over again say, you know what? I can't talk about this. It's like I say this all the time. We've been told that we should be seen and not heard. So we begin to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to things that we get caught up in because of fear.
Exactly.
Like all right, let's talk about this young kid whose uncle spanked him on social media because he was professing that he was in a gang, which was a lie. And the fact of the matter is that instead of him not doing it because he had this fear that he would be rejected, by his peers, he stayed doing whatever he was doing from what the report shared, and he ended up losing his life. He was shot. Gang violence, because we're too afraid from peer pressures and all other kind of pressures to say no, to say I'm standing in the conviction of this is who I am, this is what I do, and you cannot tell me and you cannot bend me to what you want me to do. And so he lost his life, as many of us do. You know, we have a lot of rape victims that are out there that because of fear, they're bent to fear. And in my book, Transcending in the Midst of the Crisis, I talk about my own way that I hid my rape for 15 years. And I swore my sister to silence. So this is one of the reasons why people are so afraid, because we're taught that. We're taught that from a young age, that fear is something that we must embody. But guess what? Fear can be fatal. Fear can be fatal. So the question is, are you ready to allow fear to be fatal in your life and even in the lives of someone that you love and care about? Or even if it's somebody that you don't know, somebody dealing with domestic violence. They're in fear and they're not going to tell nobody because they don't want to be hurt. So this thing is deep. So Dr. Hillary was like, look, we only answered one question. So I know what that means. That means get the next question up for Dr. Make Stuff Up to ask. So I'm going right to it. So, and we talked about how can fear be a good thing. And I know we talked about the types of fear. Mm-hmm. So let's go right to this, because I think you touched on it. But for our viewers that's just coming in, let's talk about this. I think Dr. Make Stuff Up was going to entertain or put you in the hot seat with this question.
Yeah. So what is the cost of not addressing bad fear? I mean, Lotus, you've already introduced this topic with some pretty amazing examples.
We have talked about it, but it's the topic that we can talk about for days and years. I mean, because the cost of fear can cost you your health, it can cost you your life, it can cost you your relationship. The stress of not addressing that bad fear, like being on the job you hate, and drinking just to kind of pass the time away so that you don't have to deal with the madness of it, because you have hatred about it, because you haven't really learned how to address it, because you have that fear. You're afraid of the consequences, and the consequences are that you created in your head. You don't even really know what it is because it's unknown. And then people say, oh, I'm afraid of the unknown. Well, the unknown is supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be. But then that's when fear stories come. That's when procrastination and anxiety and sabotage gang up together, and they say, listen here, if you think this is what's going to happen. This is going to hold you back. Don't say nothing. Keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
Domestic violence. Ain't nobody supposed to be in our business. Ain't nobody about me and you, but me and you. Well, if you keep doing the same thing and you get the same results, they used to say that was insanity. Right? So that these things have been changed over time, but people add a different twist to it and make it sound like it's different, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And so not addressing the fear is you missing out on the other side. Yeah. And everything you want is on the other side. So do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to cross that bridge? And if you've been working that way, whether it's your business or personal life, and you're still on the same side of the bridge and you want to get across, get a coach, get a therapist. If you belong to a group of friends that all share, you all swap fear stories, and you're all staying and holding each other down. I got you. We're going to beat this. No, you're not going to beat it.
No,
you want to meet it. You want to learn from it, so that you can gracefully move on by the grace.
Exactly.
God. So that is some of the cost of, and the biggest cost is you can't go back. We have this moment. This is what we have.
Yep.
And that woulda, coulda, shoulda, coulda, shoulda. That's all the fears. That's all of sabotage, procrastination. I woulda, coulda. If I had only known, I would have done that. And
exactly.
It doesn't work that way. We have to walk through that door, but we have to learn, because no matter what you speak out of your mouth, if you're not practicing it, The subconscious mind wins. The subconscious mind is programmed to do what it's been doing. I can prove that. Here's a simple one. This one is kind of easy. My muffin addiction.
Mm-hmm.
They don't love me. I love them. Not all of them,
yes,
but I have a select group. But I love them. So I'm in a store and I smell it in the bakery. I smell that scent. And I feel like, here's a lie. They have the one that I love the most. It's right there. They don't usually have it. So of course it's meant for me to have, right? So I buy it and I eat it. Not one time do I say I shouldn't do that until after I finished. That's the subconscious mind. It's programmed just like that. It's going to do what you say you're not going to do because you haven't addressed it. So of course, February, I didn't have a muffin at all because you know what? I decided not to love things that don't love me.
Wow.
Wow. I have a recipe where I can eat gluten-free. I can make it myself. I know what's in it. So
yeah.
That's a good funny thing. But on the serious side, just like you could, confronted, a rape, a molestation. I was a pedestrian hit by a car. I was already in law school. I was already a naturopath, and I was in a coma. I was in a coma for 10 days. I had a minute's worth of consciousness at a time, not even a half a day. I had to work my mind, my brain up to a half a day.
Wow.
And they were telling me all the things I couldn't do anymore. And, and my mother's like 5'2", and she started saying, that's not the plan God had for her life. And I'm looking at my mother. I'm like, oh, I believe her. Okay. I'm going with the divine plan. I'm not looking for this. It just doesn't sound it. But it took years. It took years. And they told me I could do crossword puzzles, live in my wheelchair, because I made it from out of the coma into a wheelchair. I don't know how to walk all over again. And I wheeled that wheelchair back into the hospital. I lived in San Diego at the time. But it's a journey. But if you don't get up from fear, if you don't get up from it, you'll never know what you can do. Wouldn't you want to find out?
That's true. Yep. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to move on. We got a couple other questions, but you know what? This topic is amazing. And so y'all get your notepads and pens and come on in and go ahead and get ready for after this commercial. We'll be right back.
Entrepreneurs Living the Dream 2021 proudly present Survive and Thrive in the 21st Century, coming to you April 22nd with some of the best speakers on the planet, hosted by Dr. Patricia Rogers. Speakers include Dr. Lotus Bechet, Charlene Sparks, Dorothy Ross, Sophie Nubani, Noah Crane, Pat Shin, Raj Knighting Warfield, Alexander Perez, Cecil Ben-Shimon, Michael Butler, and Nancy Matthews. Cheryl Otero. Grab your ticket today, and we'll see you there at the Entrepreneurs Living the Dream Survive and Thrive in the 21st Century.
So we are back, and I know that y'all have had a great time so far, and I cannot believe we are already at the top of the hour.
Wow.
Where did time go? Time just flew by. Where did time go? I just don't know.
Wow.
But I tell you what, Dr. Beraki, if you could stay with us for another 5 to 10 minutes. Well, I gotta ask Hill, because Hill's navigating the show tonight. So Hill, what do you think? We got a couple more questions. What we doing, Hill?
I want to get to the last question. So yeah, but I think if Dr. Lafayette, if you could just hang with us just a few more minutes.
Yeah. And so normally we go in right away and talk to our guests. So I want to say thank you everyone for coming in. We really appreciate you. But this has been fire. And if it's been fire for you, go ahead and put a 3 in the comment. So hi, Angie. We see you out there. We're happy to have you. We see Sam from the Philippines. We're happy to have you. She said fears are only in our minds. We need to face it to grow and survive. And what is Gwen saying, Miss Hill?
Said loneliness, sadness, not financial stable.
All right. Doctor, make stuff up. Don't make stuff up. Tell us what Sam's saying.
Fear is false evidence appearing real.
Amen. Yeah. And what else we got in the comment?
Get you a person like Dr. Nailah.
There we go. What else did she say?
I always do that with chocolates. What was that?
Wow.
Eat them
with the muffins.
Eat them and just say, "Oh man, I ate too many. I shouldn't have eat. I shouldn't have
eat the whole box."
And make sure if you missed any of this, make sure you get back on repeat. Get back on repeat. Because it's been a very powerful discussion tonight with Dr. Nailah Beraki. And I think she may have lost connection, but she'll definitely be back. And of course, we got our 3s in there, and I think she's back. And so while she's coming back into the feed, Dr. Hillary, can you tell us about Family Pioneers? Because I know that's coming up. Well, wait, she's back. After this, I'd like you to tell us about Family Pioneers and some other things that we got going on this coming week. So let's get right back to, hey, she's back. So let's get,
yeah.
So let's get back to this.
I said we didn't run her off, did we?
I know. She like
I ran up and get that muffin, huh?
Somebody went and got some chocolate. So I want to say we have 2 more questions. Yeah. How can we use good fear? No, that ain't even my question. My question, the last question. Let me move on.
That last one is a good one.
Well, she was asking me earlier about how does laughter and things relate to fear. Right?
Yeah. So this is right here. Yeah. How does that relate to fear? Because here's what we know. I know Dr. Hillary has a book, and she touches on this in her book, and I know you touch on this in your book, and Dr. Make Stuff Up always talks about this too, how fear, not fear, but how laughter is kind of medicine for our soul. And so even in the face of fear, we can use laughter as we take a breath to change and pivot in the moment of fear. So all of you really talk about it, including myself. So can we talk about how this relates to fear? And I really would like everybody to touch on it. So Dr. Beraki, I'm gonna kick the ball to you, and then you can kick the ball to whoever you want to kick it to.
We talk about leading the world, healing the world through laughter, because laughter is actually a study and applied science. There is the Natural Association of Applied Humor, and they've been around for more than 30 years. And the science says that the strategic use of laughter creates connection. It sparks connection. And the science says that laughter can reduce stress by 39%. The anticipation of laughter can reduce stress by 29%. You ever been pissed off and angry and upset, and somebody wanted to make you laugh, and you were just so angry that you did not want to laugh? Last thing you wanted to do was laugh. And then you start laughing. Leave me alone. Leave me, and you're laughing. You didn't want to laugh, but immediately the laughter took the finger off the trigger.
Yes.
And
sometimes literally.
Huh?
And sometimes literally. Took the finger off the trigger.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. When they have found in research that after a humor break, people at work in the workplace are more productive.
Yeah.
Now, here's a delicious little side piece.
Move
Even
over
if you have
so we can see your whole face, Doc. I'm sorry.
what
Move over
happened
so
to my
we can
face?
see
Is
it.
that
There
better?
you go. That's
Okay.
better. Yes, ma'am.
So, the benefit of laughter is physiological. So even if you have those people who aren't really laughing, the ones who laugh at their teeth, they will still get a benefit. Is that not great?
Yes.
Even if you're fake laughing, you will get a
Yeah.
benefit because the
Yeah,
body doesn't know the difference. So
That's right.
we use laugh therapy to increase memory because it relaxes the brain and the right brain that recalls, it brings it to the forefront of the mind, because when you're angry and upset, you really can't think.
Yeah.
That's why people lose their lives so quickly, because they become impulsive and they can't think and they're so fired up. Usually they say, I was so angry, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry, but that doesn't work.
Right now, right.
So laughter is powerful medicine. A good belly laugh, you can lose at least burn 5 calories
Wow.
a day just laughing.
No wonder my stomach been getting flatter.
That's why they call me the laugh lady. So
I'm burning me some calories over here.
That's right.
and we use. So in my practice, I use laughter. I use breath work. Breath work is powerful. If we're not breathing, we're not here. That's how powerful it is. And it's also the physical evidence of God in action. Because if you're not breathing, hold your breath and see what life is like without it. But breathing in the body, a lot of us have a shallow breath. So we're not breathing deeply into life. We're not allowing the toxins to clear out of the system. That's another reason why we have breath work techniques.
Right.
We have breath work techniques for meditation, but in breath work, it's a little different, and it's, a lot faster, and it is used, as a healing breath. And also this particular breath opens up the cellular memory of the body. And in the cellular memory of the body is everything that's ever happened in our life. So it's good to use if you're not using hypnotherapy. You could use the breath to access anything you want in the body mind. So we use breath work. I use EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping. Some people call this tapping. There's a lot written about tapping. Tapping is using, the meridians and the chakras and releasing a lot of that stuck anger and fear and depression that's in the body, because it's living in the body. And I love talk therapy. It's great, but we have to go deeper. We have to go inside. And we have to move. That's why they talk about exercise. They talk about it mostly for the physical health, but movement enlivens the brain. It enlivens the body. It is really mostly everything that we need to heal ourselves is within us, born with it.
That's amazing.
But from some systems, that would be disadvantageous for us to have that much knowledge about ourselves. Mostly we learn so much external. That's another reason why we're afraid, but it's all in here.
Yeah.
It's built in, and it's beautiful. So I love writing about the emotions. I love, not just writing about it, but living it, because we've all, had to live these emotions.
Yes.
And when we finally face it, we go like, wow, wow. And then we can turn the chapter, we can turn the page.
Amazing. Just amazing. Before you kick the ball over, Angie said, this is a fun fact, April is National Humor Month.
Yes.
Yeah. And she said humor is one of the most essential qualities to human life. And Mary Jo, would you read the other comment that she shared?
Larry Wilde, an author and humorist, started National Humor Month in April 1976. He created this day with the idea to bring public awareness to the therapeutic value of humor.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Dr. Beraki, who you about to kick the ball to?
I want to kick it over to Dr. Hill. Hillary so I can hear her. She was. I want to hear your what you were writing. You know your perspective with laughter. I want to hear yours.
Well, I believe that laughter works good like a medicine. I've always liked to laugh, but some people don't laugh. Life is too serious. When you laugh, it does everything you said. I agree with everything you said. That's some of the same stuff that I talk about as well. It is cellular. I tell people, listen, we're made up of these 37.2, the average person, 37.2 trillions of cells. You want all your cells to be healthy and happy and whole and full of oxygen and water and laughing. It's amazing how healing it is. Something so simple that people can't charge you for it. I mean, they can charge you to put you in therapies and stuff, but it's not like you get a prescription, and take a pill that's going to make it happen. Like you said, it's already in you. There's something you can do. You can engage it anytime, like I did. Just start laughing because your body doesn't know. It just starts to release the dopamine, those good feeling chemicals that make it feel good when you're laughing. Listen, I had people skipping a couple of weeks ago. You can't skip and be angry at the same time. You gonna laugh.
Got that right. I was skipping in the kitchen. I was skipping it before I knew it. I was laughing.
I believe it.
And that was a good, just to show people when you engage it, it works for you. And it's free. It's easy, natural, and drug-free. I love it. Right? And then the breath work, for me, the main thing about breath work is that most people don't breathe properly. They do a lot of mouth breathing, which is not good for you overall. Because God gave us a nasal system so that when we breathe in and out through our nose, the way He intended, then your air is warmed. When we breathe through the mouth, it don't go through the warming process. That's why you get all kind of, coughing and everything happens. Let's in different airborne pathogens and stuff like that. So because the air gets warmed and the air gets filtered, the real thing that's so special is that your lungs know how much air it needs. Sometimes people do what's called over breathing. And that can make you have conditions and sickness and asthma and sleep apnea and different stuff like that because you're not breathing in and out of your nose, And so, again, it's easy, natural, and it's drug-free. And you got the power to do it, So it will help you to heal because in every holistic practice, not different kinds of practice like Reiki and whatever else is in lymphology. It's about getting oxygen. It's about getting oxygen to your cells because that's where the magic is. That's where the life is. They say the life is in the blood. That's because the oxygen is in the blood.
Absolutely.
So we want to breathe right. We want to drink water that's going to help because when you get water that's alive, it's going to help to oxygenate you as well. Eat fresh fruits and vegetables. That's going to oxygenate you as well. One test to take when you're eating more fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. I know I got off of laughter and breath work, but here go a little laughter. Look back.
Yes.
At your did I say it out loud? Your eliminations. Look back.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Because when you're not doing it, you're gonna be sick. You're gonna be not feeling well in your body. You're gonna have backup that's gonna cause you to have some other stuff going on in there that you have to go to the doctor for because you need to poop. And when you look back, if it's floating, you've been eating fresh fruits and vegetables. If it sinks all the time, you need to consider eating more fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's a good laugh because most people are not used to doing that. They, say, "Oh my
That
God,
is.
look."
But one thing I agree with most of what you're saying. But when it comes to breath work is a modality and it's intentional. So when for different healing purposes and for different emotional release in regarding release work and some other modalities, that there is a breath that is done through the mouth, because that dryness that you're getting, the chemistry in the mouth it's already set up to fight bacteria as it enters the mouth. But when you're breathing through the mouth with intention and you're doing a particular breath, that is the breath work that will open up the cellular memory. Breathing through your nose is relaxing, is comforting, and everything else that you said, and is warming. But there are other techniques. There's not out 8 hours a day breathing through our mouth. It's with intention and it's for a purpose. But I do agree with you with everything else about breathing through the nose and the warmth and and all those things. But there are breath modalities that are very helpful to healing
Let me share
through
something.
the mouth.
Let me share some secret sauce with y'all that a lot of people don't know. When I do and with my company, we are a one-stop shop for everything social media. And a lot of times I do video voiceovers, and I've been doing voiceovers for many years for different companies that need voiceover. I don't know who car that was that just sped by, but anyway.
That
But
was right here.
here's some secret sauce. When I get ready to do a voiceover, I do breath work. And what I find is when I breathe in and then I release, I get that full release and then I breathe in again. It gives me just a clarity of mind. I don't have to go over and over and over my voiceovers multiple times because I become clear. My lungs are free. See, now, even doing that, I had to close my eyes because it feels so good. And then it brings me to a sense of oneness with who I am, what I'm doing, and why, what the intention is of what I'm doing.
Right.
And I can't wait for you to come back, Dr. Beraki, because I think one of our next shows needs to be about breath work, how breath works, and we need to give some people some work, put them to work on the show, is what I
Oh
think.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Oh,
I
we
would
could breathe
love,
together. Yeah, it'd be
yeah,
nice. I
I
love
would
that.
love to have Doctor make some stuff up, and have you and Dr. Hillary money that fold, and Dr. laugh all the darn time, make you laugh
Laugh
till
a
you
lot.
drop your socks. Yeah, Dr. Laugh a lot, come back and really let's help people breathe, because Hillary made a very, very powerful point. A lot of us don't know how to breathe.
Don't.
And here's some more secret sauce. On the 22nd, I'm speaking at this event. Entrepreneurs Living the Dream 2021. You know, how to survive and thrive in the 21st century. Now, this is supposed to be for entrepreneurs, but guess what? It is for entrepreneurs, but guess what I'm speaking on? I'm speaking on how to survive and thrive on a cellular level, because we're so busy surviving and thriving when we talk about money, when we talk about being on shows, when we talking about writing books. But did you know laughter helps you to survive and thrive on a cellular level? You know how many people die of heart attacks because they're not surviving and thriving on a cellular level? And Dr. Beraki, when you talked about this earlier, well, all of y'all talked about this earlier, the significance of laughter. That is why I chose to speak on the 22nd on what I'm speaking on. So if you don't have your ticket, I tell you, get a ticket, because this is going to be amazing. Amazing.
I can imagine.
On a cellular level, how are we dealing with fear? How are we really understanding why fear is a good thing? Why is it that people are not told to go ahead and get these kind of books about fear. Learning about the fact that fear is a good thing if we utilize it properly. This is a guide. This is a journal by Dr. Beraki. Get this book and learn and live. Learn and live. Okay?
Thank you.
Very affordable. It's on Amazon. You can go ahead and grab this book today. In fact, I'm going to take this. Matter of fact, I've already put it in the feed earlier because, I mean, when we talked about the book earlier, just amazing. So if you are on right now, look in the comment. There is the link for the book. Go ahead and grab the book because it will help you change your life and help you think and behave differently when it comes to fear. So
thank you so much.
Oh, you
it's a workbook too. They can write in it. It asks people those questions about their fear in relationships, in the workplace.
Awesome. So with that being said, I know we are past the hour. It has been a great show tonight, and I gotta tell you, we have something else coming up that's going to be phenomenal. And so as we have our final words of wisdom, I am going to defer to something really scary. Being the first in your family to do anything. Yeah. Family pioneers. Hillary is got this awesome thing coming up. Hill, want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So this is an event we have coming up May 15th. It's sponsored by our church, Word Alive Ministries. And it's born out of being that first one to answer the call to ministry, even if it's in business. Business, when you're a Christian, is a ministry. It's something that you're doing to help other people for the Lord. So anyway, family pioneers. We have that first one that's helping to pave the way, go through those hardships and challenges to broaden the road for those coming behind them. It's not always easy. Sometimes you got scars and nobody wants to hear about your scars, want to see your scars. And yet there are those that are going through and getting those same scars, and they need to know they heal. You can come through this. And so this is what this is all about. Again, talking about fears, talking about things that people don't usually talk about. What is it like? So it's May 15th. It's on Saturday. It's going to be 3 hours from 11 to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 12 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. It's a $25 registration fee, and it's on Eventbrite. Just go to Family Pioneers, and it'll come up, and you can get your ticket today. Get a couple of tickets and bring somebody along that needs this. And if you're thinking about being the first in your family, like Dr. Lotus said, in anything, first to go to college, the first to open a business, the first to, do anything. It's amazing what you go through.
Exactly. And then don't forget, it's gonna be phenomenal. And then don't forget that we have Women's Mental and Health Living Talk that's coming up April 30th. This thing is coming up. We have Dr. Hillary, Dr. Margaret Fournier, Dr. Phyllis Weaver, Miss Shirley Powell, Dr. Lotus Richey, and Shirley Murphy is going to be there. Make sure you join us for that. And of course, this is going to be on Zoom. Tickets are only $10. You can DM me, DM anyone on the platform and get the information and get your ticket today. We have so many great things that are coming up. You do not want to miss this. And that's what I got. We're going to take a quick 30-second. We're going to come back with words of wisdom. Make sure you check this. Stay tuned for our words of wisdom. You do not want to miss this. We'll be right back. All right. So here, what we got? Where we going for the words of wisdom this evening?
Well, this was so much fun. I laughed until I got so much good stuff going through my body that's healing my cells. They all feel good. And so we're going to do these words of wisdom. And let's go with Mary Jo. Mary Jo, you know you're trying to be quiet and hide out, but we see you. So
she's taking notes.
Let's start with Mary Jo.
All right.
Okay. So what's really striking me is how we started with a really heavy conversation about fear and why it's a good thing, and we're ending on such a positive, happy note with laughter. And for me, laughter is what everyone else has been saying. It's so important, and it's something that from my fondest memories of childhood is when we're all around feeling and laughing together. And what I did want to invite people to do is I actually have a podcast where I interviewed Nailah, Dr. Nailah Beraki, and we talked about fear. And so if you want to tune in and hear more, if you just didn't get quite enough, then we have a whole episode where we continue this conversation. So if you want to go to creativedirectionsforliving.com/podcast, you can find the interview that I had with Nailah, and it was filled with laughter as well. But great conversations.
Always.
I want to just say that this was really, I loved all the different perspectives of fear. Fear is a multifaceted thing, and it really can stop people from fully living. And when you really learn to work with it as opposed to against it, you feel real changes. So that's my words of wisdom tonight.
Okay, so you're going to tell them about your other offer?
Actually, I want to leave it with this.
Okay, sounds good. So make sure y'all check that out, because you guys had a great time here tonight. Check this out. You're gonna have a great time there as well. Dr. Money That Fold. Dr. Money That Fold, where we going next?
So Dr. Laugh-A-Lot, are you ready to give us your words of wisdom?
There's so many words of wisdom out there. I just want to thank you all for inviting me here, Mary Jo. Bless you, Dr. Lotus, Dr. Mo. I don't want to mess that up, but
Money That Fold.
Money That Fold. It's beautiful. Listen, one of my favorite sayings is, if you can hold a vision, you can live a dream. That is one of my favorite sayings, because that's something that you have to hold. It's one thing to hope at the end of your story everything's going to work out all right, but to live and walk with hope every day, knowing that you can trust that small intuition, that intuitive voice, that good fear, I think that defines holding the vision. You got one life to live, and this is no dress rehearsal. That's my words of wisdom. Peace.
Wow. You ain't got but one life to live.
Well, I wouldn't want to have to follow that. That's how I hope she don't call on me.
I guess I'll take the next spot, because we gotta let this close down with Dr. Lotus, because she and Mary Jo have been pretty quiet tonight.
Because we've been taking notes.
Hey,
they've been laughing.
We got our next books coming out, and we want to direct quote. We want to quote correctly. We want to do it rightly. Oh, so we taking notes, baby. I tell you, note takers are money makers. Change makers.
So I'm going to take the next spot, and then I'm going to let Dr. Lotus close this down. for this words of wisdom.
Oh gosh.
You know, folks, you gotta like the doctor laugh a lot, Dr. Beraki. I think I said it right. You only have one life to live. You want to give it your best, give it your all. Find out who you are so you can be that, so you can keep becoming that. You know, don't wait. Don't let too much time go by with dwelling in that place of fear, because bad fear can hold you back, hold you down, shut you up, when really you can be so much more than that on the other side, like we talked about, on the other side of that fear. Peek around, get a glimpse, and go for it. I'm done.
Amen.
Woo!
Real
That
talk.
was a
Real
mic
talk.
drop.
Yes.
Wow.
Love it.
Oh Lord.
So it's up to you now.
Hot seat on repeat. Goodness gracious. So,
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to follow that, but this is what I'm gonna say to my fabulous co-hosts, Mary Jo,
Yes.
Dr. Make Stuff Up, Dr. Hillary Money That Folds. You know she graduated and got her PhD from a penny looking for change to money that fold. And to all of our viewers, and especially to Dr. Beraki, came and dropped the mic tonight as we talked about this tough topic of why fear is a good thing. And my words of wisdom are this: never allow your fear to overcome your faith.
Amen.
Because your faith is something that's going to move you beyond your fear into your purpose as you pivot in every foible of life. If you just believe in the one person, the one life, the spiritual being having this human experience.
Amen.
That's you. So don't
Amen.
forget to take fear and take faith, and let that faith overshadow your fear. And so I want to invite all of you, because guess what? I got something coming up too. Let me share it with you. Make sure you join me on the 22nd of this month, and also check me out on April 24th, where I'm having 1 hour. It's a free 1 hour training with me, Dr. Lotus Rashay. I'm going to help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life. I'm giving 10 free tips to get your business rocking in less than 10 days. And it's going down April 24th, 2021 at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. 11:30 in the morning, y'all, not PM. Eastern Standard Time, and 4:30 VAT time, 4:30 Hawaii time, okay, and 12:30 JST time. And if you look right down here, it's all going down in Zoom. So get in where you fit in and come on and let me help give you 10 free tips that's going to get your business rocking in less than 10 days. And so you don't have to have no fear of having your business not rocking. Why? Because we've already shared to you that fear is a good thing. It's just all about how you use it. So until we see you all again, we love you. Stay blessed, and always relieve the stress, and don't take no mess. Ladies, let's give them some energy. Woo, 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 woo.